We know her as the Metamorphomagus. I always mess it up. Or Nymphadora Tonks. Let's hear it for Natalia Tena, everyone. Natalia, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Natalia is outside currently.
Yes, I'm currently in my manager's garden because I live on a boat and the reception is absolutely heroically awful. So he's kindly lent me his garden.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's so nice. And we have to talk about more you living on a boat because that's amazing. But we'll get there once we get everybody out. Yeah, let's get everybody out. All right, next up, our favorite wizard with a proclivity for the pyrotechnics, Seamus Finnigan. Let's hear it for Devon Murray.
Hey guys, how are things?
Hey Devon, what's up? Thank you for joining us. Good to see
thank you for having us.
Of course. This is going to be fun. It's going to be a blast. We've got all the houses represented right now, y'all, with the fans in the comments. But our favorite Ravenclaw prefect, member of Dumbledore's army, Padma Patil. Let's hear it for Afshan Azad. Afshan, thank you so much for being with us. Good to have you.
Thank you.
All right, next up, captain and keeper of the Gryffindor Quidditch team in Harry's year 1 and year 2. We know it changes, but he was our first. He was our favorite. He's the one we fell in love with right up front. Let's hear it for Sean Biggerstaff. Hello. Good entrance into your map there, Sean. That was nice.
Well, you got to do something, right?
Good to have you. Good to have you. And last but not least, so we've got Oliver Wood here. But then who takes over as the captain of the Gryffindor Quidditch team? It's Angelina Johnson. Let's hear it for Danielle Tabor. That's the hardest part, y'all. Just entering the Zoom call. I know. Everyone did lovely. Everyone always kind of has their own take on it. You know, they either enter from off screen or just are already there. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, Natalia, you know, the puppies always win.
She's joining us. She wants to answer all your questions as well.
But what's the puppy's name, Natalia?
Her name is Mimosa.
Mimosa?
Slytherin.
What's the full one?
Her name's Mimosa, and her house, I think, is Slytherin.
Oh.
Yeah. I know.
She's always trying to achieve.
She wants to bark at everyone and attack everyone, but with me, she loves me, so, you know.
Nice. Well, thank you for bringing her. She's beautiful and always steals focus in these types of things. The pets. We're thinking about just having a celeb call where everyone just brings their pets and we all just kind of hang out together. Yeah. Before we get into the questions, again, fans that are watching, please submit your questions in the stream. Then they'll feed them to me, and then we'll ask our amazing actors your questions live. That's what's so fun about these panels. But I just wanted to check in with everybody. How's everybody doing? How's quarantine been for you? And just let us know a little bit where you're calling in from and how things have been going for y'all. Natalia, let's start with you since you came out first. And how's your boat? Tell us a little bit about your boat.
I mean, I feel bad because obviously, you know, this has been an awful thing worldwide.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I've had a great pandemic. I have been really enjoying my time. I hardly ever get to see my boyfriend because of all the travel I do. So for once, we're both stuck on this boat, but I've got a kind of roof deck. So I can, it's been a beautiful May. So I've been sunbathing a lot. I've been drinking lots of amazing wine. I've been learning how to make sourdough and cakes. Who has time to usually make a carrot cake? I don't know. So cooking a lot, seeing a lot of my friends, do all the Zoom quizzes, all that kind of stuff. And taking long walks. Obviously, we've been allowed to walk in England. In Spain, they didn't allow it, but here we were allowed to walk, during the quarantine. So kind of trying to enjoy that, helping a few friends out. They're a bit vulnerable, that kind of stuff.
Awesome. And hey, I mean, if you ever needed to escape, you got a boat. So you could just
right?
go out into the middle of the ocean and just kind of take some time off from...
No, it's a canal boat, so I wouldn't be able to, but I'd still be able to get out in the middle of nowhere with just some trees.
Awesome. Amazing. Devon, how's your quarantine life been so far?
You know, it's not really been too bad. I live on a stud farm, so I don't usually get to see anybody unless I go traveling. Obviously, because of coronavirus, I haven't been able to travel anywhere. All of our shows have been cancelled. So the horses have all had a well-deserved break for the last couple of months. So just a lot of keeping the horses fit and ready for competition.
That's awesome. I didn't know you did that. That's amazing. Do you still take them out, obviously, a bunch just to keep them in shape? It sounds like you do, right?
Yeah, well, they all get turned out every morning when we're mucking them out. And then they'll come in different times of the day. We'll exercise them, not jumping a whole lot, just keeping their fitness up so it doesn't take too long to get them show ready again.
Amazing. That sounds awesome.
Yeah,
Awesome.
fun.
Afshan, how's your quarantining been going?
It's been long, very long. I've been stuck indoors with my in-laws just before lockdown started. Yeah, we moved in with our in-laws because we're in the middle of buying a house. So literally I've been doing, it's just the worst timing for me. I'm currently back in my home city of Manchester. I've come for the week on work stuff. So it's just nice to see my family from like a distance, as I've not seen them in like months. Food has been my best friend, like Nat. Me and my husband have been like hosting pub quizzes, seeing all my friends Zoom and like FaceTime and house party, baking a lot of brownies. But yeah, food has been my savior during lockdown.
It's funny. It's so funny. The same theme keeps coming up. Like, even though we're so divided physically, like I feel like connection has never been stronger.
Yeah.
You know, like I've talked to people that I haven't talked to because I'm like, oh, I can't go see them. But because of Zoom digital forum, it's been so cool to connect to people. Sean, you've got the entire world behind you there. How has your world been internally?
Yeah, I don't have one of these digital backdrops, but I've got the analog version.
Yeah. Old school.
I also just realized, I don't know where this came from, but I've got like a little Etch-a-Sketch here so I could customize ones whenever I wanted to.
You're taking us back to the 90s. I like it.
Yeah. No, I'm very lucky here. There's this, I don't know if you can see it, but there's like a terrace out the back of my building.
Beautiful.
Okay.
So my lockdown has been mostly, my social life for the last couple of months is entirely drinking wine with my neighbours, most of whom are women in their 80s.
Oh, wonderful.
Fun for you.
So yeah, the butcher's open, the wine shop's open, lots of cooking, lots of good wine.
That sounds lovely. Do you read books? Is it like a book club as well? I feel like you would read a book to attend that.
Yeah, I'm a huge reader, but there's something about lockdown. I find it, I thought I was going to read loads and loads of stuff that I've been meaning to get around to for ages, but it's really hard to concentrate. I've probably been reading less than ever.
Yeah. It's crazy, right? It's crazy what you sort of prioritize. You find like new hobbies, but then you also rediscover things that you used to love, like as a kid.
Puzzles. I've completed so many jigsaws.
Yeah, I wanted to order a jigsaw at the beginning of lockdown, and like Amazon seemed to be kind of not delivering.
I was so desperate now.
Like £50. I was like, what?
Yes, I was so desperate. I bought a jigsaw for like 35 quid, and I was like, what am I doing? And it sat there for days, and I was like, I have to do this, just get my money's worth out of it. I have to do it. And now,
Afshan, what's been the most pieces? How high have you gone? 1,000
pieces, and that's taken like, the quickest I've done it is like 3 weeks. And after that, I vowed to never do it again because I had of like breaking it all up again. And then now I've decided to start another one because I bought it. And
why not? Yeah. Amazing. Danny, how have you been holding up?
Oh, I love it. Like, I'm anxious about it stopping. And I know that's awful because, like Natalia said, I know it's not great for, the world and so many people, but I just love the slow pace, the no pressure. And I thought I was an extrovert. And then I'm like, oh my goodness, no, I'm not. I'm an introvert. Like, this is a dream. So, yeah.
Just to add to that, I don't know about you guys, but all my life, I've always had insomnia. And during this lockdown, I've been sleeping 10 hours a night, which I haven't done since I was maybe 7 years old.
That's amazing.
The whole world's been forced to stop. It's like, well, I can't do anything. And it's weirdly been a very kind of internal relaxed.
Therapeutic, yeah.
Weird.
I agree.
This is, there's a ton of fan questions already coming in, and this kind of rolls with what we're speaking about. This comes from Natamer9 watching at Wizard World. They were just curious what your favorite TV shows or movies you've been binging. Anybody have any like?
Oh.
Yeah. Everyone's like, that's all we've been doing.
Yeah, we've all completed Netflix, completed Amazon Prime, complete everything. Yeah.
I've started rewatching like old stuff that I love. I'm like, right, I'm going to go back to the beginning of Sherlock and just watch all of it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I've been rewatching some classics I love. I watched Interview with a Vampire yesterday. Brilliant.
Nice.
Everyone's fit in it. What else? What about you guys?
My favorite thing that I've watched this whole time is Succession. It's on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
I haven't watched that.
It's
Thank you
so
very much.
It is so good.
Right, putting that down in my phone right now. Thank you.
Everyone is really messed up in it. It's just like, and you don't like any of the characters, but you love them all at the same time. Okay. It's just so good.
Is that written by, what's her name again? Lucy?
No, it's written by the guy that wrote Peep Show.
Oh, I thought it was written by the one that wrote Enron.
No, definitely. Like because the whole time, me and my husband were like, this humor, it's like English humor. I can't figure this out. Like it was just it was discombobulating, but amazing at the same time. And then when we Googled and we were like, what's his name? Jeremy someone? Anyway, the guy that wrote Peep Show. And it made sense. Like a lot of the jokes were really like, I don't know, English kind of humor.
Yeah, it's like kind of abstract, like that sort of dark comedy, you know what I mean? Like making fun of like serious situations.
Parody type. Yeah. It was really great. I'm obsessed.
Anyone else? Devon, Sean, any big series you've been watching?
Well, I haven't had a choice of what we watch lately. It's all my girlfriend Shannon. So I've been watching the originals.
Nice.
Vampire Diaries. Yep. I've watched Dynasty. So Dynasty. Yeah.
Have you watched? I've been obsessed with a reality show in America called 90 Day Fiancé.
Yo, the reality. Yeah.
Honest to God, it is the funniest. Like, it's heartbreaking because it's actually true and people out there get catfished all the time. But it's essentially about two people that meet over the internet and they've never, ever met each other. They've been dating online, never seen each other, never video called each other ever. Just like some people just like text each other for like a year on end, but then fall in love and then eventually fly out to meet them and then they get married or they hate each other or they find out that they've actually been catfished and conned. And it's just, you just laugh at their experience.
On behalf of America, I'd like to apologize for that show. So
another show on Amazon called Little Fires Everywhere.
Oh, so good.
Oh my God! But I can't finish it. It makes me so anxious that I can't binge it. I have to watch one and then wait a week.
Oh, you're good. How do you do that?
Well, I've been booked, but this is just, it's too tense.
It makes me really anxious and really unnervy.
Yeah, it's so good.
Great acting.
Guys, watch it. Sean, you'd like it. I'm not sure about Devon.
Afshan, what was it called again? I just missed it.
Little Fires Everywhere.
Oh my gosh, that's cool.
Reese Witherspoon in it and Kerry Washington.
And they're so good. Their tension.
It's got all sorts of topics, you know, like adoption, race issues,
motherhood.
Everything. Like it's just amazing. And
well,
I brought my husband to watch it as well, so it.
Well, thank you again for being here. Again, I speak on behalf of all the fans. There's thousands of people watching from around the world, obviously huge Potter fans all across the globe. And we just thank you for coming out here because this is giving us such a fun, nice break, you know what I mean, from everything. And it's a fun, entertaining thing. So again, thank you all so much. But let's get, and then a lot of love out there. We had the cast, Devon, of Vampire Diaries and Originals recently. So they're going to be very happy to hear that you guys are checking them out. But let's get to Potter. Let's get to the Potterverse. My gosh. 9 years. Obviously, the books came out back in the late 90s, right? I think like throughout the 90s. First movie came out in 2001. The seventh movie, Deathly Hallows Part 2, came out in 2011. So we're almost 20 years from the first one, almost 10 years. I know, my gosh, from the last one. And obviously the universe has continued to sustain. I mean, J.K. Rowling is a brilliant creator and creative person and has continued with Fantastic Beasts and everything. But I want to go like all the way back to the beginning because before it became as insane as it's been. And this is a question from Elise Cuss. And a lot of fans are asking similar things. Eric Schachter as well. What was it like your first experience walking onto that set? So what, for the first time, just seeing, I mean, I don't even know what everyone's first scene was, but I'd love to hear a little bit about your entry point into the film world of the Harry Potter verse.
I had, my first scene was a Great Hall scene.
Oh.
So it was epic. I don't think I understood the magnitude of it for like years after filming, to be honest. But you walk on and I didn't realize how amazing it was going to look, like how real it was all going to look and how many people there were going to be. And everything was just, and I'm sure one of the first scenes, it was like Halloween and there was just all this food and sweets. And some were real because I remember eating what we were not meant to do. But yeah, I think I was just really overwhelmed by how big it was. And we were little. I was so young as well. So, like, it was just...
Yeah, a lot of you grew up in the series. You know what I mean? Like as children to adults. That's crazy. Yeah. Other first, and again, a bunch of other just quick shout outs to some fans asking similar questions. Aaron Agawa, and then also Michelle Bergen. Again, just early memories, and then like first memories of just walking onto that set.
I remember my very first day. Well, actually, I didn't remember. I thought it was a totally different scene, but my mom just corrected me recently. That's the very first scene that we did all together. We were coming in on the Hogwarts Express and we're getting off it on the way to Hogwarts. And that was the very first scene that we ever all shot together on the very first movie. And for us going on to this, it was just absolutely fantastic. It was nothing I would have ever imagined, or it was just beyond my imagination. It was just crazy. And then Hagrid was there.
Yeah.
So he was 15 foot tall or something stupid. And it was just incredible.
Amazing.
Anyone else? Should I just say as well? Or
round robin.
I came into it the fifth film. So
right.
I mean, and I didn't really know what Harry Potter was. When I first went to the audition, I thought Voldemort was a country rather than... I didn't know anything. And so when I went in, I was like, this set is huge. I mean, I'd already done a lot of filming before that, but this was just like out of this world. And my first scene was with Brendan Gleeson. And he was being so naughty to me, and he was like just like moving his eye and like trying to... He saw that, you know, at the time I was 21... like a pretty nervous actress first, and he literally tried to make it better. It was some scene, like a little room, which happens in Order of the Phoenix when we accompany Harry to King's Cross, obviously because we're worried about him as the Order of the Phoenix. So I remember that, but I remember just always getting lost. But the only place I would find was the food hall. I could always find my way to the catering, and the catering was amazing.
Awesome. Well, I picture the catering for Harry Potter being like also set up like on a really long table with like with floating candles. Like that's what we believe.
Just
you started to say something there.
No, so my first, I can't actually remember my first day, but obviously before we started filming, I was 16, and we had the read-through for the fourth film, because I came in on Goblet of Fire, the fourth film.
Yes.
And meeting the cast at the read-through, I was literally, by the fourth film, I'm a fully fledged Cure, book fan, like film fan. I, was a huge fan before. So when I got into it, I was like freaking out and like going up to like people like, hi, I'm Nuga. And the thing about Goblet of Fire is that loads of new characters came in straight away. So there was like the Durmstrangs, the Beauxbatons, my, the Patel sisters, Cho Chang, like there was loads of us that came in together. So I didn't have to do it on my own. So I had a lot of, help with that. And then one of my first scenes was with Brendan Gleeson in the classroom, like a classroom scene with Mad Eye Moody. And I remember having like a CGI, like huge spider tarantula going up me. And I had no idea. I have never done, like, it's my first ever film, like first ever actor. I was like, it was an act to something that's on your arm. There's a huge spider, like, scream and shout. And in front of everyone, I was literally like, what the hell am I doing? Like, this whole thing is like, oh my God. Like, I just remember looking around, just being like, I'm living a dream like right now. Yeah. So for me, I was like super nervous, but it was nice that we came in with a lot of cast together and kind of had that bond.
Awesome.
I was like the cringe geek that was like, hi. Hi, Dan. No, I used to say, hi, Harry. And he's like, my name's Dan. I'm like,
oh. You just want, you're like, no, stay Harry. Just stay Harry.
No, I remember him introducing himself like, hi, I'm Daniel Radcliffe. I'm like, I know who you are.
That's so awesome. It's so fun to come in the middle of something like that when it's already at its height of its brilliance, and those are some of the best movies in there, 3 and 4 and 5, where we do, like you said, Afshan, there's like so many characters getting introduced and the world just really expands beyond.
Super lovely as well. Like everyone really like welcomed us, and apart from Devon, everyone really welcomed us in and just
it was really nice to you.
Really nice.
Devon's like, we didn't have that in the beginning. I don't know what you're talking about now. Sean, how about you? You started right from the beginning. Obviously, like a big character, right, to kick things off. Like, what was it like first day on set for you?
I think I was very lucky that the first day on set we were doing the scene where teaching the rules of the game, which was up next to Annick Castle. So it was a relatively small scale thing, like just 2 actors, no huge. I mean, obviously the castle's amazing, but it's just there. You don't need to build that. Sure. So I was able to just get on with it, and it was only weeks later then we went down to the studio and we were doing a great hall scene that it sort of occurred to me what the scale of the thing that we were actually doing. And I kind of freaked out then. So I was glad of that, because I think if I'd had a sense of the size of it when I shot that first scene, I would probably have panicked. As it was, I could just relax and get on with it.
Yeah, and it's such a good intro to the game of Quidditch. You know what I mean? And it had to be amazing too. I mean, because you have all these fans that have read the books before and have already had these pictures in their head. So then to have to try to like recreate that like on a movie set, but then the amazing job you all did, it felt so seamless, you know. And that's a credit to all the directors, obviously, and the casting agents and such. But then what you all did in the moment was so beautiful and just like really enhanced the movie. So we thank you for that. This next question is similar in the sense that some of your favorite scenes might have been your first ones. But this comes from Amber Wales, who's asking what your favorite scenes to shoot in the movies were. And then similar question from Brandon Weeks. Was there anything that got deleted, either from the books and your characters, or something you shot that you were like a little disappointed by? So any just sort of favorite scenes, favorite deleted moments, anything at all. It's sort of open. Anyone who wants to take it.
I'll start then. One of my favourite scenes is probably like, because it means so much to me, was the Yule Ball scene in the Goblet of Fire.
Yes.
Going to the ball with Harry and Ron. It was just kind of just super special. And for the first time, after being in dress robes and like school uniform, everybody was dressed up. So everyone was in ball gowns, and just like the vibe on set, it was like literally like high school vibes that we were going to prom, but in Hogwarts. And so everyone was dressed up. It was just so nice. We got, glitter eyeshadow instead of, like the normal everyday school makeup. So everyone was super excited. So for me, just filming the U-Ball and walking into the Great Hall and seeing how they dressed it was honest to God, it was incredible. The attention to detail on the set was insane. And obviously for my character as well, it was like a huge scene. So I was super nervous. And for me, that was one of my favourite scenes to film and just to be a part of. And another scene that was deleted was a scene that actually took quite a lot to film, was a scene with Emma Thompson, who plays Professor Trelawney.
Yes.
My characters in the book, Patil twins, are very close to her, and it was a huge scene where she kind of saw a premonition, and there was a few in the film. The one scene that we filmed was cut, and I was super gutted because I was quite like with her constantly.
I love that scene. I would have loved to have seen her predict more stuff.
Yeah. And she's Emma Thompson. I love her. So like just seeing her, like it was an amazing scene when we filmed it, and when we watched it wasn't in there. So I was like, great.
Afshan, have you got one of those stage fans blowing your hair around?
No, it's so hot. I actually have a fan here because who the hell wears a turtleneck? Who the hell wears a Like, I packed the wrong stuff. I came to Manchester thinking it's raining and cold. It's so hot, I've got a fan. I've not put this in effect. It's coming on and off throughout the thing.
It's very glorious. It looks beautiful, right? It's just
anything less from me, Sean. Hello, I've got a fan.
I like the juxtaposition of turtleneck.
Pulling out turtleneck on for no apparent reason. So, and then just like Nat's got an umbrella. So
yeah, I like the juxtaposition.
It's raining. I'm like, well,
it's humid. It's so hot in England right now, even though it's raining here in Manchester. But yeah. That was
Awesome. Any other memorable scenes from anyone out there? Your favorite scene to shoot? I know it's always tough, but favorite scenes.
My fave scene to shoot was we were at Durham Castle, and it was like Quidditch. It was the Gryffindor team and Slytherins, and Ron sticks up some slugs
Yes.
I'm sure you were there, Sean.
Iconic scene.
Yeah.
And he got given like a fake slug to actually like puke up. And and it was so cold. It was like minus something outside, and we were given like these tea bag things to warm up. And honestly, like, it was freezing, but I just remember that scene. It was just, we were all together, and it was just a really fun scene, seeing him sick up a slug. And then seeing that scene in the film was great, because you're just like, oh yeah, like we were all grossed out. That was great. And then a scene that got deleted. I did this scene with Dan, with Harry, in this, like, playing Quidditch, and he was asking about a character called Marcus Flint. Honestly, I took so many takes. It wasn't him, it was me. It took so many takes. I can't even remember, but it was a lot. And I remember just pooing myself. I was so nervous. Yeah. And then it got cut out anyway. And I was like, are you kidding me?
Maybe because you were visibly shaking.
Yeah. Actually, had pooed myself. I mean, yeah, exactly. Oh, dear.
I think my favourite scene would have been either the Yule Ball, because being in Harry Potter from the very beginning, I've seen the Great Hall the exact same way for 4 movies. And to see the change of it was just amazing.
It was unreal, right there.
Another thing that kind of made that scene even better, we had like 8 weeks of learning how to ballroom dance. And it was just so much fun. We were all slagging each other. We were joking around. Some of us were better than others. Some people were terrible. Some people were really good. So that kind of helped the scene for me, like, being a lot better. Another scene that I loved doing was on the 3rd movie. There's myself, Dan, Rupert, Matthew, and Alfie, and we're all in our dormitory. The movie had been very dark and all the way through. Sure. And Dan's dad, I think, had the idea that we needed to have a little bit more fun and life in the movie. So we all had to eat different sweets and turn into different animals. So all movie we'd been doing like serious scenes. So to do that, we kind of all had a lot of fun. We turned into different animals, and it was just us being kids again, instead of dreary and scared the whole time.
That's so cool.
And the scene that got deleted was on the 1st movie, when Neville comes in with the leg locker curse, and Seamus says he'll fix him, or whatever he said. And Neville says, that's all I need, you to blow my bloody kneecaps off. So I get pissed off. I slam my wand on the table. I turn around, and I'm telling them, in case you haven't realised, my eyebrows have completely grown back. I turn around, and there's a big ball patch sewn into the back of my head. So I was raging. That scene was deleted. It was deleted because I started losing all my baby teeth.
Oh my God.
And I couldn't. I know. Literally, the day we started filming the 1st movie, I started losing all my teeth. And I had to get fake teeth put in all the time. So my problem was, I had 3 or 4 teeth on the bottom that had fallen out. So I had my fake teeth in there. And I also had 1 tooth that had fallen out up on my top. So I couldn't keep the false tooth up there without getting sick. So in like one of the scenes at the very end, I was delighted, and we'd won the house cup, and I just started vomiting everywhere because the tooth was there. So that's why we stopped using it, and that's why the scene got deleted.
Oh my gosh. These are the ends.
Dev, that you were losing teeth?
I was 11 when I started losing my teeth.
Is that's not normal?
I started losing them all like straight away.
Teeth like 7, isn't it? 7 or 8?
Sure,
yeah. I have all my teeth up in the attic somewhere. So at the end of the movie, they just gave me all these fake teeth that they made.
All the fake ones?
Yeah, all my fake teeth.
Not all your own actual baby teeth.
Oh no, they gave me those as well. Because I had to have one of my teeth pulled because it was just like so wobbly. And you could see it every time I opened up my mouth. I was just like playing with it all the time.
This is more information than I think the fans ever needed, Devon. But that is awesome. Devon, who's the worst dancer? Who is the worst ballroom dancer in the cast?
Yeah, I cannot tell you. Well, I cannot tell you who the worst were.
Do you know what the worst was? You know what the worst was? The fact that everyone was practicing with each other. I had to learn it. We had like a whole dance teacher and everything. And in the end, I didn't really dance with anyone. And then I was like helping everyone else learn. It was gutting. I was watching.
But it's so good because like you guys just came on.
I helped you so much.
Sorry?
I helped you so much learn that dance.
You did, to be fair. Thank you.
Oh, that's lovely.
But no, the twins were definitely the worst.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Ouch.
Two left feet.
Two left.
Sean, favorite scenes from the first movies?
Yeah, I think probably that first scene with Dan.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of there weren't too many like technical considerations or anything. It's just a really nice little scene, working really closely with Dan and Chris, both of whom I really, really liked. And then the only thing that I can remember that ever got cut was there's a scene in the last book where Oliver Wood and Neville Longbottom are carrying the body of Colin Creevy.
Oh yeah.
Away from the battlefield, and we did actually shoot a kind of truncated version of that for the film, but then it went the way of the dodo, unfortunately. A shame because I think it was quite nice.
Yeah, they did such a great job. It's impossible to completely translate the books to the films. You know what I mean? So obviously choices have to be made, and I think they've made the right choices, everywhere to make some nice streamlined movies. But there are some cool moments, and that's where it's nice to read the book, watch the movie, and have them be companions. You know what I mean? And you can believe all of that is happening.
And also, the books are so big, and there's so much you could put in. It could be hours. They would just last forever. Like for me, I really was sad that in the 6th book.
Yeah,
there was so much where Tonks is basically depressed because she's lovesick and just roaming around Hogwarts and looking up. And I really wanted to go to Hogwarts. I really wanted to be part of that universe. I never got to go there.
Yeah.
And I would have liked to just be this weird, moody Nymphadora, but never happened.
Natalia, favorite? Oh, it's starting to rain. To you. You were in a lot of action scenes. So was there a favorite sort of action moment or action scene that sticks out to you?
I loved being on the broomsticks. And another thing I remember from my first day, actually, because it wasn't my first day filming, it was my first day, like fittings and blah, 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 was to get my arse plaster casted and my face. I was like, this is a weird job I've signed up for. And it was for the broom.
Oh my gosh.
I remember having to do it, and it was in this huge room. The camera was so big, it looked like a dinosaur that came in and swooped in and got to you. And I was on this really comfy broom, really high up, and it moved a bit like when you're on a fairground.
Oh.
And then there were these like really hot men that were blowing air at me, and I had to pretend a tennis ball was Harry because obviously it's all green screen. I thought it was brilliant. I was like, this is absolutely bonkers. I love it. It was like a weird fairground ride with just being filmed in such an incredible environment.
Wow.
I'm still furious about the fact that when I was filming, I was the guinea pig and I was filming Quidditch scenes. It was before they started making those nice bumbles.
Yeah, you guys were really uncomfortable, right?
Yeah.
I was just it was a bike, like a racing bike saddle on a stick in the sky.
Oh my gosh.
And I was up there for 5 hours at a time. It was horrific. Oh.
Yeah, Danny, same for you, right? Because you were in the early Quidditch scenes also.
Yeah. And it was sometimes you had stirrups, but then other times you didn't. Stirrups helped. But if you didn't have them, honestly, someone really hurt themselves up there.
Yep.
Yeah, like tore something.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
Let's get to we talked a little bit about sort of the sets and the amazing the production design on these films is obviously out of this world and really takes you into. Again, shout out to Chris Columbus and the original design team, and then everybody, all the other directors after that just brought it along. David Ayers, obviously, for the most recent ones. But my gosh, the work that they did to bring that book to life is so beautiful. And this is just a question that always gets asked, and I always find it fun, especially after things are done. So now that we've completed the series, from Terry Nichols and a bunch of other fans asking out there, were there any props or costumes or things that you took that maybe you weren't allowed to take, but we're going to reveal it now as a nice memento of the experience? You're
not allowed to take anything. I tried to steal my wand so many times. And no, in fact, I did. I mean, the one thing I did take from Harry Potter were my knickers, because obviously, like, costume department would give you pants to wear, and they're like, we don't want them back. So, I mean, I suppose that technically I took. But no, I mean, I remember at one point, because I play the accordion, I've got Bank on Molotov Jukebox, and some of the crew were like, nah, there's an accordion in the room of requirement. And I was like, I can't nick it. And he actually he's like, they're not going to use it. And he even put it in my trailer.
Wow.
But I still couldn't do it. I was like, I cannot be sued. I want
With a property like this, it has to be insane. Like everything must be like super cataloged.
Yeah.
Yeah, Devon, it looked like you were reaching for something. Do you have a secret around the corner?
Oh, Devon.
No, so I had to start wearing rings in the third movie, and I kept a lot of those. I have some of the Slytherin tie pins and a ring. I have other, like my tie from the very first movie when it was just the Hogwarts crest. I have my normal tie. And then one of the producers, Paula the Prey Pestman, she was giving I'll show you, the Howler from the first movie.
Cool.
So she wanted to give it to me as a present.
eBay.
Sorry?
eBay.
No. So Paula wanted to give me this as a present. So she had a charity. She has a charity called There With Care. And I was like, no, look, put it up for auction. And if I'm lucky enough, I'll buy it there. So she went and put it up for auction, and I ended up buying it. So I have that as well, which is cool.
That's awesome. Anything else? Anybody sneak off with anything?
All the jewelry that I wore. So all the jewelry that I had.
Nice.
Sorry, I didn't steal. Sorry, borrowed. One day I will give it back. I just, all I had an earring, necklace, ring. I took my dressing room sign. And that's about it. Yeah.
I don't have anything at all.
Nothing for the.
I mean, like the only. So, actually, it's in this room. There's a.
Oh.
The Etch a Sketch. Oh,
I don't. No, this is just like one from the shops that I got.
Oh, you got one! Amazing.
Because I didn't have a wand in the first two films, and I was annoyed about that. I really wanted a wand, and when I came back, I did have a wand. But like they were so careful about stuff like that
sure.
literally if you were leaving the set to go to the bathroom, like a prop standby would be there going, "Give me your wand." Before you
yeah. No, I found that even after a scene, they'd be like, they take it, you know? It's like, as soon as you finish, you'd be like, and done, and yeah.
The one.
Alan Rickman stole a lot of things.
He was probably like, I'm Alan Rickman, I'm fine.
He's like, fuck it, yeah.
Well, exactly. He knew he was unsackable, and so they kept asking him to stop, and he just, I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep.
Oh my gosh. Rest in peace, Alan Rickman, one of the greatest actors of all time. Yeah. My gosh. And, that leads me into the next question. And a lot of fans are asking, so Autumn Siegel Arts was specifically asking about Alan, but I've seen questions coming up about Michael Gambon and Maggie Smith. And my gosh, such iconic British actors on that cast. Was there one that was particularly like awe-inducing for you? Like one actor that like really just was like amazing to work with on the set? I know we talked a little bit about a couple of them, but
all of them. All legends.
Brendan Gleeson. That's what we were talking about. Brendan Gleeson.
He's amazing.
Yeah,
they're all incredible. I think Harry Potter had one of the most, if not the best, British cast of all time, and the adult actors were just, every one of them were like legends in their own way.
But and also really nice people that made you, people that didn't know what you were doing.
Yeah.
It's made you like, don't worry, I'm here to play with you. It's going to be fun. And they were silly. And that's rare. Just the whole group of people that talented that are also incredibly nice. It's amazing.
Yeah. Especially the younger cast. Like, there wasn't sort of like a divide, but like, like the cast would all be like mingling and talking. Like the young cast and adult actors would all be sat down in their chairs. And it's kind of like, but for me, like it was super daunting, like having these incredible legends in front of you, and I just at one point just being like, what the hell, like where am I, like especially the Great Hall scenes where the top table of all the teachers, you just look there and you're like, wow. But yeah, I don't think I have a certain person. I mean, I love Emma Thompson and Imelda Staunton as well. She's like the nicest woman ever, contrary to Professor Umbridge. And yeah, I think Maggie Smith, every time I used to see Maggie Smith, I used to be like, wow, like just, I love her.
He was the only one of the sort of legends that I worked with kind of closely on the first couple of films. And because she's sort of known to be quite intimidating, but I found her just completely lovely and chilled out and really helpful.
I remember doing my GCSEs and in the studios at the time, and my anthology used to have these English anthologies, and I was in the hair and makeup room, and Maggie Smith was sat in the chair next to me, and I remember she actually narrated a poem that I was working on for my GCSE, and I literally like had my anthology and like was like, oh my god, this is so surreal. But I did tell her, and I don't think she cared, to be honest. But I was like,
Awesome.
Oh, I love Julie Walters. Oh my God, that woman is, I think, one of the kindest ones as well. She's talented and one of the kindest actors that I've worked with.
oh.
Such an amazing representation of the entire United Kingdom. You know what I mean? Too, like all of the country, Scottish, Irish, Welsh, British, and everyone brought their tone to it, which was so cool. I'm like looking at the list now, and I'm like, everybody, Gary Oldman, my gosh, Timothy Spall, Fiona Shaw, my gosh, I can't even. You could go on forever, and just the amount of people. I think that's just such a credit again to not only all the folks that were working on the films, to get all of them to just come on in, and it just became such a beautiful representation of your country. You know what I mean? Of the fantasy that was created by J.K. Rowling, but then all of the actors and everything, and all of the sets filmed in different castles and locations. My gosh. We can go on and nerd out all day. Yeah.
I have to mention David Thewlis because he was my husband, so I have to say he's amazing because he is amazing, and he would also. There was so much waiting in Harry Potter. It was a very long process of scenes because there was so many things I had to get right. So he would like whisper. I just asked him about his life and other jobs and other gigs he'd done, and he would he'd always get to the punchline, almost like and action. And I remember one scene at the wedding, Fleur's wedding. Is that right? Yeah. And he whispered, and that's when I just started crying with laughter. It was a moment where Shacklebolt comes in and announces that the order has fallen. And I don't know if you can see me because I haven't rewatched it a lot, but if you do see tears, they were from laughter. And I was trying desperately, and they were like, "Yeah, if you want to cry, cry." Everyone looked sad, and I was just pissing myself because he'd been so naughty. So he's a phenomenal human.
So good. I want to get, we're almost out of time, and my gosh, we could talk about Harry Potter all day long. And I appreciate you being here. And just a quick shout out to the fans. Thank you all for submitting your questions. If you have more specific questions for each of these actors, please purchase those one-on-one video chats. It's a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Super awesome. Those are available on sale now. They will happen after this panel, but then we'll kind of re-up them, and they'll be available throughout the week if you're watching on a replay. So definitely take advantage of those. We're going to do like a quick fire couple of things. Favorite Harry Potter house. Ready, go. What house are you in personally, Natalia?
Hufflepuff, because it's weird.
Devon, what house are you? Slytherin, nice. Afshan?
Gryffindor.
Sean? Gryffindor. He's like, duh. And Danny?
Gryffindor.
Oh man, all right. No Ravenclaws in the room. That's okay. That's all right. All right. What if you had to have a mythical creature? All right. If you had to have a mythical creature as a pet, what would it be? We'll go backwards. Natalia's got one. All right.
No, I don't. Go backwards.
Who's got one?
A hippogriff.
A centaur.
All right. Devon says hippogriff.
Really, but
Sean, what was yours?
A centaur.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
It's not a pet, but like it's a friend who could help you get around quickly.
Yeah, a buddy. They would be very offended if you called them pets, I think. But
it's not a pet, but one of the mermaid people.
Oh, yep.
Maybe they could help me out. I love swimming, so maybe hang out with them.
I like that.
Can I just be best friends with Dobby?
Oh,
yeah.
Dobby. Yeah, that's so Dobby. Afshan, favorite mythical creature?
Kestrel.
Oh, yeah, nice.
But you can get invisible, and only if you see. I don't know why that just came to my mind. Yeah.
No. Those are really cool.
Oh, actually, I want to change mine. The book, the eating book.
the monsters
really funny,
book.
and I love reading, so maybe he'd like teach me some stuff. I don't know, have loads of really good books in there once I get in.
Yeah, that's the mythical creatures book, right? The like monsters book. Mm-hmm. Awesome. All right, last one. Kat, that was a question. The mythical creatures was from Elise Cuss. Thanks for watching. From Kat Tankersley. Favorite food? If you could take any treat or food from the Harry Potter series, what food would you take? Or what would you want? What's your favorite food?
Butterbeer.
Oh, yeah. Butterbeer.
All of the desserts in the Great Hall.
Basically. Oh, they always look good.
Yeah.
Good answer.
And not what the butterbeer that they actually make at the theme park.
Like
not that. That's awful. I want what butterbeer.
Real beer.
Like in my
Real
mind.
butterbeer in a fantasy. Yeah. In and Harry Potter, they do a beautiful job there in the parks, but that's just cream soda with some whipped cream on top. Yeah. Right. Any other favorite foods out there?
I mean, I love that. You know, the tuck truck they have on the train.
Oh,
yeah, I'd have all of that.
Oh
Go play with it and see what's in there. Yeah.
Trolley lady.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with just the frogs.
Yeah.
Why not?
That'd be fun. A hopping frog that you can eat. I think that's great.
Yeah, exactly.
Danny, favorite food or treat or candy?
I just want that great hall scene where it was Halloween and there was just all these sweet. I just want that because we ate so much sweets. It was great.
Gosh. That's so awesome. Well, again, thank you all so much. Again, on behalf of all the Potter fans out there, we thank you for giving us this brief little respite. We know there are a lot of complicated things going on in the world, but there's a lot of hope, which is really the storyline of Harry Potter, right? It's all about hope and triumph of good over evil, and we are hoping for a lot of good to come out of the amazing things that are happening around the world right now. But I would love to just give you all one final shout out, just to say hi, goodbye to all the fans, and just thank them for being here, and then we'll wrap things up. Whoever wants to start off. Sean's out. Sean just dropped the mic.
And see you guys.
Thanks, guys. Cheers.
Yay. Thank you so much. Please, I'll give it up one more time for this amazing cast, the cast of all of the Harry Potter films when put together. Let's hear it for Danielle Tabor, Sean Biggerstaff, Afshan Azad, Devon Murray, and Natalia Tena.
Take care. Thank you.
Hey, this is Alex Malari Jr., and you are watching Fandom Spotlight. Be sure to hit that like button, share, and subscribe. Your Emperor commands it. Thanks for watching.